Welcome to our video where we explore the incredible strides made by 8 countries that are leading the way in sustainability and environmental innovation. From Sweden's pioneering practices to Denmark's wind energy revolution, these nations are setting the global standard for a greener tomorrow. However, not everyone is keeping pace. We'll also shed light on 2 countries, the United States and Australia, that appear to be lagging behind in their climate policies. Join us as we dive into the inspiring efforts of these green-minded countries and examine the challenges faced by those still stuck in the past. 1. Sweden. A leader in sustainability. Sweden has long been at the forefront of environmental sustainability, setting ambitious goals and implementing effective policies to achieve them. By 2024, the country achieved a remarkable milestone, with wind power surpassing nuclear energy in electricity production for the first time. In December 2024, wind energy accounted for 35% of the nation's electricity, marking a significant shift in the energy landscape. Throughout the year, wind power contributed to 25% of Sweden's electricity generation, up from 22% in 2023. Reuters.com. https://www.reuters.com/business/energy/wind power tops nuclear Sweden first time trade group says 2025-01-09 UTM_source equals OpenAI. This progress aligns with Sweden's goal of achieving 100% renewable electricity production by 2040. EENewsroom.com. https://www.eenewsroom.com/energy/Sweden targets 100 gigawatts offshore wind to become a renewable energy leader. HTML. UTM_source equals OpenAI. The Swedish government's commitment to sustainability is further demonstrated by its legally binding target to achieve net zero emissions by 2045. Supported by a robust policy framework that includes binding interim targets and a climate action plan updated every 4 years. IEA.org. https://www.iea.org/reports/Sweden 2024 Executive Summary. UTM_source equals OpenAI. 2. Denmark. Pioneering wind energy. Denmark has been a trailblazer in wind energy, consistently setting global benchmarks. In 2024, wind power constituted 59.3% of the country's total electricity generation, up from 56% in 2020. en.wikipedia.org. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/wind_power_in_Denmark?UTM_source equals OpenAI. This achievement underscores Denmark's commitment to renewable energy, with targets to achieve 100% renewable power generation by 2030. However, the nation faced challenges in late 2024 when an offshore wind farm tender failed to attract any bids. Analysts attributed this setback to a rigid auction model and a failure to adapt to the changing economic realities of renewable energy projects. Reuters.com. https://www.reuters.com/sustainability/climate-energy. Denmark disappointed after offshore wind tender draws no bids 2024-1205. UTM_source equals OpenAI. Despite this, Denmark continues to invest in innovative projects, such as the development of energy islands in the North Sea and the Baltic Sea, aiming to serve as hubs for up to 10 gigawatts of offshore wind farms. en.wikipedia.org. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/energy_islands_of_Denmark?UTM_source equals OpenAI. 3. Finland. Innovating for a greener future. Finland has made significant strides in environmental sustainability, focusing on renewable energy and technological innovation. By the end of 2022, the country's wind power capacity reached 5,677 megawatts, with wind energy covering 24% of the yearly electricity demand in 2024. en.wikipedia.org. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/wind_power_in_Finland?. This growth positions wind power as Finland's second-largest electricity source, surpassing hydropower. The Finnish government's climate strategy aims for carbon neutrality by 2035, emphasizing energy efficiency and advancements in sustainable technologies. en.wikipedia.org https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/renewable_energy_in_Finland?. Additionally, Finland's energy supply is less dependent on fossil fuels compared to many other countries, with only 36% coming from these sources, significantly lower than the International Energy Agency's average of 70%. en.wikipedia.org https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/renewable_energy_in_Finland?. 4. Norway. Championing electric vehicles. Norway stands out for its impressive adoption of electric vehicles, EVs, with over 54% of all new car sales in 2024 being electric. The Norwegian government has implemented various incentives, such as tax exemptions and free charging stations, to promote EV usage. As a result, Norway is on track to phase out fossil fuel-powered cars by 2025. The country also generates 98% of its electricity from renewable sources, primarily hydropower. A recent report from the Norwegian Water Resources and Energy Directorate highlighted the importance of sustainable energy in achieving climate goals. Norway's commitment to sustainability is further reflected in its ambitious plans for carbon capture and storage technology. 5. New Zealand. A natural paradise. New Zealand has gained recognition for its environmental policies and commitment to protecting its unique ecosystems. The government has set a target to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, with a focus on sustainable agriculture and conservation efforts. In 2024, New Zealand's Ministry for the Environment reported a 20% reduction in emissions from the agricultural sector due to innovative practices. The country is also investing in renewable energy, with over 80% of its electricity generated from hydro, wind, and solar sources. New Zealand's commitment to preserving biodiversity is evident in its extensive network of national parks and conservation areas, showcasing a holistic approach to environmental stewardship. 6. Costa Rica. A model for ecotourism. Costa Rica is often hailed as a global leader in ecotourism and biodiversity conservation. The country has committed to becoming carbon neutral by 2050, with over 99% of its electricity generated from renewable sources. In 2024, the Costa Rican Tourism Institute reported that ecotourism contributed significantly to the national economy, attracting millions of visitors annually. The government has implemented policies to protect natural habitats, resulting in the preservation of over 25% of its land as protected areas. Costa Rica's innovative Payment for Ecosystem Services program incentivizes landowners to conserve forests, demonstrating a successful model for balancing economic development with environmental protection. 7. Germany. Transitioning to renewable energy. Germany has been at the forefront of the renewable energy transition, with a goal to phase out coal by 2038. As of 2024, renewable sources accounted for approximately 42% of the country's electricity generation. The German government has invested heavily in solar and wind energy, with plans to increase offshore wind capacity significantly. A recent study by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy highlighted the importance of energy efficiency measures in achieving climate targets. Germany's commitment to sustainability is also evident in its ambitious recycling programs, with a recycling rate of over 65% for municipal waste. 8. Canada. Embracing clean technology. Canada is making significant progress in its efforts to combat climate change, with a commitment to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. In 2024, the Canadian government announced a $15 billion investment in clean technology and renewable energy projects. The country has abundant natural resources, with over 60% of its electricity generated from hydroelectric power. According to the Canadian Environmental Sustainability Indicators, greenhouse gas emissions have decreased by 20% since 2005. Canada's focus on sustainable development is reflected in its commitment to protecting natural habitats and promoting biodiversity, with extensive conservation initiatives underway. 9. United States. Struggling with climate policy. Despite being one of the largest greenhouse gas emitters, the United States has faced challenges in implementing cohesive climate policies. As of 2024, the country has seen a rise in emissions due to increased fossil fuel production and consumption. The Biden administration has set ambitious targets for reducing emissions, but political divisions have hindered progress. A recent report from the Environmental Protection Agency highlighted that the U.S. is not on track to meet its climate goals, with emissions projected to rise by 5% in 2025. The lack of a unified national strategy has left many states to pursue their own environmental initiatives, leading to a fragmented approach to sustainability. 10. Australia. A step backward. Australia has been criticized for its slow response to climate change, with a reliance on fossil fuels and a lack of ambitious climate targets. In 2024, the Australian government announced plans to expand coal mining, raising concerns among environmentalists. According to the Climate Council, Australia is one of the highest per capita emitters of greenhouse gases, with emissions increasing by 1.5% in 2023. The country has faced significant climate-related challenges, including devastating wildfires and droughts, yet political resistance to change remains strong. As a result, Australia is often viewed as lagging behind in the global effort to combat climate change, with calls for more decisive action growing louder.